One of the funniest things that Elon Musk immediately did was call this a distributed denial of service attack, DDoS, like as in people were attacking his website. Except if you are actually victim to a DDoS, RIP to the Juice Lord. I saw this. I don't know why he wanted to ratio me. Maybe because he's Canadian. He just like saw a patriotic American and he thought like, oh, well, I'm Canadian. And then it failed because, you know, God damn it, Eagle Screech, baby. You already know. Hey, listen. That's right, baby. That's right. Born in the USA. Born in the USA. I was born in the... Anyway, that's not how an eagle sounds. Shut the f up, nerds. That's how it sounds in the United States of America. That's right. I'm going crazy now. Thanks. He's probably patriotic. You're probably patriotic as... Anyway, that's a red-tailed hawk, not an eagle. Shut up. Nobody cares. Take that back to communist China, okay? Take your back to communist China. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. That's what an eagle sounds to me. That's what an eagle sounds like to me, okay? Get your watching out of here, okay? This ain't the Chinese firewall, okay? Don't come in here with some, he's an eagle to me, god damn it. There was a time I actually thought Elon was cool, but what the f happened to him? Why is bro power tripping and straight up being an Islamophobe? Elon was never cool, man. He was always a rich, okay? He was never cool. You got duped. It's fine. It happens all the time. Let me tell you what happened. The media basically told you he was coolest. They told you. They gave him incredible articles. They wrote articles about him. They talked about, do you snipe drama on purpose? What drama? Why do you think it's a good idea to snipe bad ideas? That's not good. What? Bro, it's just drama, man. It's okay. Like, it's not that significant. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure the community will be understanding of my jokes about how, like, I don't care that it's actually a red-tailed hawk that is attributed to the eagle in the United States of America. Like, it's fine. You know what I mean? You sniping bad ideas, the farm, whatever. What? Elon has North Korea level of family history revision. Yeah. So, a lot of people got duped, and that's fine. It's like impossible. It's virtually impossible not to feel some type of way about billions of dollars of free and paid media. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. That's the reason why it exists. That's the reason why PR exists. That's the reason why marketing exists, right? And a lot of people think personally that they're above it. That they think, nah, like propaganda can't impact me. No way, dude. I'm too smart for that. And it's like, it's usually the people that say that are not too smart for it. Whenever I personally see like a ton of paid and earned media about someone that, in my opinion, doesn't deserve it, and it's my own rule of thumb, obviously, so it doesn't really matter. You don't have to do this either, but like you can maybe make up your own mind about these people. I just kind of am a little bit more skeptical, right? That's it. And Elon was one of those guys. Elon was always one of those guys. What do you think about the Noah Lyles and Anthony Edwards situation? Anthony Edwards is incredible. Noah Lyles is such an annoying nerd. He is like the most annoying type of nerd. And like, I get it. He's fast, but like, he just chirps so much, bro. I don't know why. Like, he's exactly the type of dude who I should love. He is zesty as hell. He like paints his fingernails. Like, he is not like, he loves nerdy. Okay. And he's so, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. He's just like, he acts like he's got a chip on his shoulder all the time. You are also that type of nerd. No, I think I mean, when I'm streaming, yes. When I'm doing political commentary, yes. But I usually also do my very best not to be like that in other moments. He's always hitting like the actually every time, bro. It's like, nobody wants that. Just like, have fun. Just have fun. Run fast. It's fine. You know, you don't have to like constantly try to on other people and like try to bring yourself up by other people. I don't know. I used to think I was super mature, got duped by this Elon, and I developed some empathy to hogs as well, since they're delulu like this every day. Yeah, hogs literally think that there's no 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, when there is obviously an ad break at the top of the hour, you know? It's just, it is what it is. If you no longer want to see those ads, of course, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. People don't understand that running with COVID and clubbing soon after was definitely not a great look. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know if he actually got COVID or if he faked that, or if he actually faked being no longer sick with COVID by posting a negative test so we could just go out and club. Like, something doesn't add up. You know what I mean? That was a little weird. Trump campaign tweet, Elon retweeted, then undid to cover his... Oh, nice. I like that we're doing European style in America now, by the way. This is straight up. Like, America has always been very white supremacist, obviously. But, like, this kind of is just, like, straight up Euro. It's a very unique European style. Many Euros in the chat will understand exactly what this is. Like, what's next? Are we going to start talking about the Romani people and like, what are we doing? Like, this did not used to be like the American method. Americans are, but also simultaneously, they were much more understanding of like migrants in general, as opposed to the last 10 years where we've just like really maxed out on like hatred. But also, our migrants oftentimes don't even come from Africa. Like, most of our migrants are brown, bro. The undocumented immigrant, when an American is talking about undocumented immigrants, they're not talking about black people. They're usually talking about brown people. They're talking about like Mexicans, Guatemalans, Venezuelans. So that's why this is like so Euro. It's crazy. I always thought that America used to lead the world in this kind of rhetoric, and it feels like we are now following behind. It's strange. As a person who was previously duped by Elon, he definitely was better at reading the room when I was younger. A gajillionaire posting 9gag memes was funny enough. Along with the Iron Man PR, he just aged like milk and bought into his own image a little too much. No, I always thought that shit's lame as hell. Oh my God, he's a billionaire but posts 9gag memes. Like, the reason why I love LeBron is because he's corny as okay? LeBron doesn't post images of Bart because he thinks it looks sick. He posts it because he's corny. He's a cornball, okay? He also happens to be the GOAT. Elon Musk, on the other hand, has this air of like, please like me about him. You know what I mean? That I think is like one of the major things that I think is like one of the major reasons why I've never been too much of a fan of this guy. Like, I'm posting the epic meme. He posted Bart because he wanted to show us his artistic talent. I mean, sure, but there is a level of like, please like me to everything that Elon Musk does. And I think that there is that like anxiety, that nervousness that comes through. And I hate that. I can't stand that. It's so insecure. Like, he's constantly seeking out validation. He constantly wants, like, he will do all of the hackiest things in order to get that validation. Like, if he was just like this, just a goofball, like, come on, man, just messing and doodling around. I miss doing this all the time. Used to be my escape. Bart got a big ass head though. My bad, Bart. Been a while since I pick up the pen. What do you think of Mark Cuban? Okay, great example. Great example. I think Mark Cuban is infinitely better at like appearing normal as a billionaire than Elon Musk. Okay, he does. He, like, I wouldn't go so far as to say he's one of the good ones or anything, but it's like very obvious that he is, to a certain degree, a normal person, as normal as you can be while still being richer than God. Okay, where like it's obvious that he will sometimes like even dialogue with like normal people. He'll put his opinions out there. He's not like programming every single thing that he is saying and calculating it to gain something. Sometimes he just posts. It's like KD. KD's a poster through and through. He doesn't play basketball. He doesn't play basketball for the sake of basketball. He plays basketball so he can post, okay? He can talk on Twitter. JB Pritzker is another good example of a person you can kind of tell is not personally invested in the way that like every single thing he's saying is going to look like. So I think overall, Elon Musk just always is so inauthentic and so desperate for attention, so desperate for people to like him. And the way I see it is like this. Okay, I'll give you another example. Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is beaming with insecurity. Okay, that is precisely the reason why Andrew Tate presents himself as this like over the top masculine alpha dog, right? You don't do that if you are secure in your sexuality, if you're secure in your background, secure in your success. Like trying to market yourself as a certain person by going overboard all the time is in my opinion, trying to make up for an insecurity that you have. It's very performative. And unfortunately, that kind of bottom of the barrel marketing is really appealing to a lot of people who are stupid and maybe also insecure as well. They don't see it as overcompensation for insecurity. They actually see it as what it is. They just respond to shapes and colors, right? So they look at that and they go, no, you don't understand. He's got a Bugatti. He's got so many cars. He's so sick. He's so awesome. They don't like take a deep breath and go, why does any of this matter? Who gives a when you die and go into the ground? They don't bury that stuff with you like a pharaoh. You know what I mean? What matters is your impact on this planet. But a lot of people don't think about it like that. And they just go, it's so sick. He's so cool. They don't even they don't think about it beyond like the immediate image that they're responding to. Okay. So unfortunately, there's a lot of guys like that out there. And that's why there's a lot of people who like respond positively to Elon Musk posting like the 9gag meme from 2014. All right. That's what it is. There's a lot of other people out there who don't understand the thin-skinned narcissism that comes out of that oozes out of every orifice of this person. And many of my haters will say, Hasan, you're narcissistic and you're thin-skinned. The difference is I own it. You know what I mean? When I get emotional, I own it. When I get angry, I own it. I don't try to like appear a certain way. I do gay all the time because I don't give a, you know what I mean? Why would I be insecure about my sexuality? I'm a 33-year-old man. Do you see what I'm saying? And a lot of people look at that and then they go, oh my God, this guy, he wore a dress. It's like, bro, you're so stupid. You know, you're so dumb to think that like wearing a dress somehow makes you less of a man. Like these are incredibly outdated ways of thinking that you've been locked into that only demonstrate how fragile your own personal understanding of masculinity is. Do you see what I'm saying? But like I said, there's a lot of kids online and there's a lot of kid-brained adults online. So they kind of run the show a little bit. Not going to lie. So yeah. Anyway, we got a fat ass playlist here. Okay. Tim Wallace is speaking live as the Harris campaign surges and Trump scrambles from MSNBC. We'll get to that. Harry Enten has three caution points for the Democrats from the polling data. We'll start off. Actually, you know what? Let's do the Elon Musk shit. I want to see how the media covered the Elon Musk stuff, and then we'll get back to that.
Donald Trump returned to Twitter last night. It's now called X, for a long conversation with Elon Musk that was hampered by technical issues. Rachel Scott is tracking the race. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, good morning to you. This all got off to a very rocky start. That conversation was delayed by more than 40 minutes because of those tech issues. Elon Musk said he wanted to have this conversation so that the former president could appeal to independent voters, but Trump fell into a very familiar pattern of controversial statements, insults, and attacks.
Overnight, Donald Trump's botch returned to the platform that once banished him for posting false claims about the election. The company saying at the time the account was permanently suspended due to the risk of further incitement of violence. It was reinstated by Elon Musk in November of 2022.
One of the funniest things that Elon Musk immediately did was call this a distributed denial of service attack, DDoS, like as in people were attacking his website. Except if you are actually victim to a DDoS attack, a couple things happen that did not happen in this situation. Other parts of the website would also shut down, okay? Other parts of the website were shut down. They didn't. The rest of the website, for, you know, for better or for worse, was still working, okay? And not only that, but also you can track DDoS attacks. Like it's not untraceable. But Elon personally turned around and went along with it. Then Verge and other outlets went and asked people on the engineering side at Twitter, and they were like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. He's likely lying about it. It depends on, you're just making stuff up on DDoS, bro. If you actually think that this Twitter space got DDoSed, you are exactly the type of person. You are the reason why Elon Musk is like the #1 figure that crypto scammers use to dupe people, which is ironic because that's precisely what they were doing yesterday as well. There were a million different YouTube links that was supposedly the Elon Musk Trump conversation. Some of them had 187,000 live concurrent viewers. Many of them are botted, okay? But I do find it funny and rather strange that a lot of Elon's fan base are so primed into getting duped by cryptocurrency rug pulls. I wonder what that is about, okay? Why are you cosplaying as an IT guy? You know nothing about DDoS attacks? I'm so confused as to why people are saying that I am wrong on this, okay? I know a thing or two about it from, you know, being a Twitch streamer and having to deal with like an army of IT geeks who despise me and spend every waking moment trying to fuck with me online. It comes with the territory. It's one of those things that you kind of have to learn, okay? And also, DDoS attacks are like not exactly the most complicated thing. Like, we sometimes end up doing a DDoS organically on a website that doesn't have servers that are ready for the additional traffic. Like, I sometimes will click on a website and it will go down, especially if it's like an older website and the servers are not like, yeah, the hug of death. Like, and the servers are not primed for like 30,000 psychos clicking at the same exact time. Load balancers, baby. Yeah, not only that, but I have had, lol, this is not a DDoS, it's just overloading. No, I know, but it's similar to how a distributed denial of service attack works. That's it. You're just, the only difference is you're intentionally trying to overload a server and brick it. You can target a service. Whole Twitter doesn't have to go down. I think that's why they don't have to agree. They're not agreeing with it. The problem with Twitter and the problem with X spaces in general was that it just wasn't primed for it. That's it. And it's additionally ironic because he had done this already. He did this once. Well, not once, twice, but the second time it didn't matter because it didn't get that much traffic. But like, he already did this with Ron DeSantis and he bricked it, and then Donald Trump on him for it, which is why it's hilarious that like he did not look back at it at all. He did not look back at it at all and be like, let's fix this so it never happens again. And he just went YOLO mode. Now, part of that is because Elon also eliminated a ton of the workforce. Okay, not all the positions that he eliminated were like the queer Marxist brigade that is working on DEI or whatever. A big chunk of the people that he laid off and the only people that he kept on board were the H-1B visa workers that he could just basically threaten with deportation. So they are way less likely to say no when he's like, you have to work overtime. Okay. He literally went in and was like, yeah, we're going to work on a skeleton budget, including people that work on, you know, the back end. If you don't have a cloud infrastructure team who can immediately free up more resources on the network, you're boned. 99% of chance that Twitter already laid off those people. That's what I'm saying. You DDoS Twitch, not a specific streamer. DDoS attacks an entire server hosting a website. No, that's not true. What are you talking about? If they can figure out what your IP address is at any point, they can target. No, if they figure out what your IP is, you're cooked. What are you talking about? Twitch streamers have had to literally move houses and if they can't get their ISPs to actually change their goddamn IP address. I can't believe we're having this semantics argument. Anyway, let's continue. Let's just get back to the video.
When Musk bought the company.
Please listen to the experts on this one. It's an easy Google.
Trump returning to the conversation Monday for a conversation with Musk. Technical issues delaying it from the start for more than 40 minutes. Musk blaming a so-called denial of service attack, a kind of cyber attack that floods a server with traffic to force it offline, saying the massive attack illustrates there's a lot of opposition to people just hearing what President Trump has to say, though he provided no evidence of such a cyber attack.
All right, hello everyone. My apologies for the late start.
Users getting messages like this saying details not available. Those who were able to get into the live stream welcomed by hold music, then silence. X saying more than 1 million people eventually signed on.
I'm looking at the numbers. You got a lot of people listening.
Musk said he wanted Trump to reach open-minded independent voters, kicking off the conversation by asking Trump about the attempt on his life.
What was it like for you?
Not pleasant. I have to be honest. I said there was blood. I had more blood.
Bro, what's funny about this is that he didn't just want to talk about the assassination. He wanted to talk about DEI or deep state conspiracies. And Donald Trump was not about it at all. So he just kept egging him on and on and on. He just kept repeating it like, but you know, it's crazy that, you know, they shot you from that distance, right? I mean, it's like, why did they not have anyone there? Why did they not have anyone on that roof? What was going on? Two things were happening there that Elon Musk was not aware of. Number one, Donald Trump wants that to be a perfect shooter, okay? Because God saved his life. That's what he wants to like present it as. That's what he believes, okay? So he doesn't want this to be like a failure of all sorts or like a secret DEI initiative or whatever. So he's not going to sit there and be like, yeah, I can't believe like the deep state is after me in this regard, okay? And the other reason is that Donald Trump personally loves the Secret Service. He does. He thinks they saved his life because they did. So like that's the reason why so many people kept talking about DEI, 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 except Donald Trump has not said that at all. So far, he has only said how awesome the Secret Service is. If you notice, he always talks about how great they are, how wonderful they are, how sick they are, okay? He's like one of the only people on the Republican side that hasn't been consistently on the Secret Service, because in his mind, he's like, they saved me, okay? Push came to shove, and these saved my ass. I respect it. I love them. So he just didn't bite that at all.
I didn't know I had that much blood.
Over 2 hours, the former president drifted into bringing up false claims, insults, and controversial statements. Trump praising his relationships with authoritarian leaders, saying he got along well with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and Russian President Vladimir Putin.
And I got along with Kim Jong-un. We had dinner, we had everything, and he really liked me, and I got along with him.
Trump also describing a conversation he had with Putin about invading Ukraine, claiming he told him not to invade. The former president laying out what he would do if reelected, insisting one of his first acts would be shutting down the Department of Education.
That shit was kind of crazy, bro. He's like, he knew what the... He's like, yeah, Putin hit me up before invading Ukraine. And I was like, don't do it. I don't get it. It's kind of odd.
This is where I need an Elon Musk. I need somebody that has a lot of strength and courage and smarts. I want to close up Department of Education, move education back to the states where states like Iowa, where states...
Bro, this is like literally Project 2025, by the way, which is why it's like hilarious that Donald Trump's like, I don't know what Project 2025 is. It's nerd. And that's precisely the reason why I told you guys, okay? I told you guys time and time again that there is functionally no difference between like the Republican Party and the Heritage Foundation, because the Heritage Foundation is the think tank that writes the Republican policies. And Project 2025 is not specifically about like the upcoming Trump term, but a long-term commitment to abolishing the Department of Education, the EPA, all of these federal regulatory bodies. This is something that the Republican Party has been actively pushing towards. It's not new. It was Project 2024. It was Project 2023. It's also Project 2025. Okay. I know that a lot of people are primed towards Project 2025, and it's like a really great way to you know, focus people's resentment and focus people's frustration towards one thing. But it's not new. It has been this has been in the works for a very long time. It's never stopped. And that is precisely the reason why Donald Trump saying, I want to abolish the Department of Education while simultaneously saying Project 2025 who is ridiculous. Okay. I had a tweet on this that was a hit tweet as well. It blew my mind that, and I'm shocked that the media is not covering it, but it blew my mind that this part of the conversation started with Trump and Elon praising Sweden, Norway, and even China's education systems. Like, they literally started off by being like, Sweden, Norway, even China, their education is so much better, and then turned around and was like, and that's why we need to abolish the Department of Education and bring it back to the states. It is nutty, okay? Completely nutty. It is nonsensical. The idea that Donald Trump does not endorse the Heritage Foundation is so stupid. The idea that Donald Trump does not endorse Project 2025 is so stupid. You gotta be a real sucker if you don't, if you gotta be a real stupid sucker if you think that like this guy is not going to do all of those things. Okay. I noticed that the fake ass journalists didn't thank you for letting them listen to the interview. I know, it's messed up. You gotta have a stupid face, stupid face, Biden. What does your mug say? My mug says, I just want to drink coffee and watch Bill Maher. Okay, that's what it says. I just want to drink coffee and watch Bill Maher. It's a meme. It's a meme mug that one of you sent me.
It's like Idaho. Not every state will do great.
The Harris campaign highlighting that clip on social media and responding to the interview saying Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year of 2024. The Harris campaign also accusing Trump of slurring his words. The former president brushing off dire warnings about the impact of climate change, saying rising sea levels will lead to, quote, more oceanfront property. And he promised the largest deportation in history, attacking Vice President Kamala Harris on the administration's handling of the border, calling migrants non-productive people. Trump casting Harris.
That was another one that it made me lose my mind. Like, it's one of those things that is just like, you say that immediately, I'm like, you are such a freak, dude. That was another thing that really, really frustrated me. Having two billionaire fail sons talking about how the Guatemalan dude trekking for thousands of miles to come to work here for pennies on the dollar is actually unproductive. Like, that is, I don't even know what to say to that. You are so delusional, dude. You are such a delusional piece of shit. Like, what are you talking about, man? That, I don't even think that reads like, I don't even think most normal Americans who might even be themselves agree with that. You know what I mean? Rich parents and connections, right? And all these people are like, rich parents and connections, rich parents and connections. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, just like me and Donald Trump, me and Elon Musk, we're all in the same category, just a couple billionaires, It's just crazy because, like, on the one hand, they say they're unproductive. On the other hand, they say they stole our jobs. Like, it does not have to make sense because it is for the absolute dumbest people. This is not a coherent narrative. This is not a coherent narrative. This is simply for the dumbest most person, okay? I don't think Fed Trump was a billionaire. I think he was a multi-millionaire. And no, I think he was a billionaire too. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he definitely had a couple hundred M's at the very least and literally kept Donald Trump afloat the entire time. So I don't know what you're talking about there. He tried to keep his casinos alive when they were failing. What? Bro, he just wants, no. You only say this when you're hungry, okay? You only say this when you're hungry, okay? And I'm not talking about Korean barbecue, okay? I'm talking money bags. I'm talking gold bullion. I'm talking different levels, okay? I'm not talking about like Faker and Tyler One getting together to eat at that Vegas spot. I'm talking the fattest stacks you've ever seen, okay? Chowder, cheddar, moolah. These are concepts of the past. MBS, a great man. Why you being shut the up, bro? This what, bro? What is happening, bro? Do we have like MBS bots in here, bro? What? That's crazy. Okay, even MBS's family doesn't think he's great. Chatter's in here chirping. That's sick. That's awesome. Wow. The sports washing is so goddamn successful. This is why Saudi Arabia has been cooking with the sports washing. Okay. This is why they've been doing the damn thing nonstop. You might have been thinking like, why the fuck do they spend so much goddamn money on this? Well, here it is. Bro is the leader of a theocracy. Okay. A Islamic theocratic monarch that did aid in Yemen. What are we talking? They did 9/11 too. Like his family did 9/11. But also on top of that, like he also did in Yemen not that long ago. Breaking, MBS family releases statement from their internment at the Ritz-Carlton to say HasanAbi is wrong. We love our king. Yeah. Tim Walz is speaking. Okay, everybody calm down, man.
Earlier, we've done a few door knocks. We've done a few phone banks. We've done a few
I mean, this is going to be kind of boring. Like, it's not like a rally. You know what I mean? He's talking to the AFS CME. Like, he's talking to the municipal workers. He's talking at the municipal workers conference in Los Angeles. Like, y'all are like, chill out. Okay, we'll look at some of the high notes. I like Tim Walz more than you, Hasan. Sorry, his vibes are better. Breaking, U.S. Secretary of State approves sale of over $18.8 billion worth of military equipment to Israel. Hell yeah, baby. Unlimited. It's like the SpongeBob meme with Patrick. Unlimited dollars. Unlimited billions unlocked to Israel. Literally every day they're like, actually, it's not enough. Last week we released $3.5 billion. Okay, but that wasn't enough. Another 18 billion unlocked, baby. Isn't that crazy? We just have no money in the bank for healthcare. Sorry, guys. Hey, sorry, by the way. We just don't have any money in the bank for housing our veterans. You know what I mean? Bro, stop laughing. What can I do? What can I do but laugh at this point? This is so gross, dude. And before you go, excuse me, that says sale. What money are they buying it with? Chat will be like, excuse me, they're actually selling these weapons, and therefore the United States of America is getting money, not realizing that who's paying Israel to buy the weapons? Whose money? Where do you think this is coming from? You think Israel was just like, yeah, dude, we have a litany of natural resources that is so bountiful that we seemingly have been able to we're really sitting on a fat surplus this year. Okay, so we just had an extra 18 billion lying around. Is giving 9-year-old using parents' money to buy parents' birthday gift? Yeah, exactly. All right. Anyway, unlimited, baby, all day, every day. Wait, hold on. Okay, we'll get to that stuff in a second. Let's continue with the Trump
as liberal and attacking Jewish people who support her, repeating claims that have been widely called.
And I say, if you're a Jewish person or if you believe in Israel, if you're a person that, you know, is a very pro-Israel, if you vote for her, it's worse than Biden. And Biden was bad. But if you vote for her, you ought to have your head examined.
Also at one point saying the new Time magazine cover of Harris looks like his wife.
I saw a picture of her on Time magazine today. She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. It was a drawing. And actually, she looked very much like our great first lady, Melania. She looked...
Bro, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I don't know. I don't think people agreed with me on this, but like... I said when he was talking about that, he came across as SD more than horny. Like, he's like, she looks so pretty, so beautiful, just like Melania. And it wasn't like I personally think that wasn't like him being horny. That was more so him being zesty. Like, she's a pretty woman. Okay, like queen respecting another queen. Yeah.
She didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
And in a sign of just how much the former president has struggled to pivot to a new rival, Trump also...
Honestly, it's just a weird thing to say. Oh, dude, 100%. Because not everyone will read it as like, not everyone will read it in a zesty way that I did. Most people will look at it and be like, you're gross as bro. Why are you saying that about the person you're running against? Camilla.
Attacking President Biden, even though he's no longer in the race.
Don't forget, I beat Biden.
I wonder if anybody tracked this, but like, honestly, Donald Trump spoke significantly more about Biden than he did about Camilla, with the exception of like calling her radical Marxist and then at points saying she was pretty. Like, he just kind of daggered Biden the entire time. And it's like, yeah, we agree, man. Yeah, he sucks. Okay. Like, I don't know if you know this, but like, you're not running against him anymore. And it's so obvious that he just like, he's been so primed into running against Biden that he just like keeps forgetting that he's not running against Biden and just keeps daggering Biden, but he's not running against Biden. So who cares what you have to say about Joe Biden, you know?
He failed in the debate miserably.
The Democratic National Convention is now less than a week away. The White House says that President Biden will address the convention on Monday and lay out the stakes of this election. We are also told that former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama will be speaking at the convention as well, George.
And Rachel, we also heard from the FBI yesterday. They're now investigating foreign interference in both campaigns.
Exactly, George. We know that the FBI has already been looking into these claims by the Trump campaign that it was hacked by Iran. And now sources tell ABC News that the FBI is also looking into attempts by Iran to target the Biden-Harris campaign. The alleged spear phishing email was sent before President Biden dropped out of the race. A Biden campaign official tells ABC News they are not aware of any security breaches, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks.
This space is not available. 5 words and a failure tonight for a much-anticipated conversation between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. That X event that everyone was supposed to watch, well, it broke the internet, and not in the Beyonce kind of way. If you are trying to click over to watch that Trump-Musk talk, which I believe is still ongoing, for most of the time you couldn't do it for about 40 minutes. And when the interview finally did get underway, Trump went into his normal stump speech, including more Kamala Harris insults. This was, Tara, just maybe an allegory of what's been going on with the Trump campaign for some time.
Yeah.
40 minutes on hold. They start off, it's meandering, and he's doing exactly what a lot of people are trying to tell him not to do, which is attacking Harris not on substance, but just because she exists.
Yeah, I mean, this shouldn't be news. This is what Trump does. He does the complete opposite of what everyone else tells him to do. He's petulant and intransigent, and he thinks that he's his own best campaign manager, consultant, political communications guru, and there's a reason why he's now losing. There's a reason why Kamala Harris, the swing in the polls, that Kamala Harris has overtaken him in swing states. People are tired of this act. It's a Vegas lounge act now. He needs new material. And the insults are something that, particularly for moderates and moderate women who are an important constituency, if Trump thinks he's going to win this time around, they don't want to hear this. And so the people who have been running his campaign are very smart, veteran political operatives, and now they're facing the honeymoon period of keeping a disciplined Trump together is over. This is Donald Trump unleashed. He's going to do what he wants to do, and it's not working for him. And the polls show why it isn't.
I'm going to play a little bit of what he's been saying on this X stream. He talks about Harris and really seems to be still grappling with the fact that she's now the candidate and it's not Joe Biden anymore.
They're doing it right now while this third-rate phony candidate. Don't forget, I beat Biden. He failed in the debate miserably. We cannot have a Democrat. We cannot have her. She's incompetent. She's as bad as Biden.
Another part that was really funny on the interview was when he was talking about how he beat Biden. And he was like, right after the debate, they said on CNN that my performance was spectacular. And then they stopped talking about my performance and started talking about how bad Biden was. And one thing that I think Trump doesn't understand is that his performance was not spectacular at all. As a matter of fact, his performance was ass on that debate. It's just that Biden was so much worse that people didn't even pay attention to the insanity. Like, people did not pay attention to Donald Trump's like 10 million Guatemalans are doing rapes every moment in America type narratives, because everyone was like in utter shock, in a state of panic that the fucking president was mentally decrepit. That's it. He got lucky in that situation, which is why I find it additionally odd that he keeps, like, I guess, doing a little bit of revisionist history there. Ain't nobody thought his performance was great. As a matter of fact, the Democrats kept chirping, and even the liberal commentators kept chirping about how, like, why is nobody paying attention to Trump's lies? He kept lying over and over again. And it's like, because nobody wanted to care. Nobody cared about that, because the other thing was like, the house is on fire, you know?
It's like watching Grumpy Old Man or something. There's just, I don't mind attacking a person for their policies or their positions, but he's just sort of griping just because she exists, to your point. And I think we know why he's griping because she exists. She's a black woman. And everything that I've seen in the course of his career, and I know that he has black women in his circle, and I know he's appointed Omarosa and all of that. I know all of that background. But I also know when he's confronted and being held accountable by black women, time and time again, he is shown to be someone who is uncomfortable in that situation. And I think he's complaining more because it's Kamala Harris, a black woman, than any other factor.
There's nothing that he's saying about her, however, that wasn't actually said by Biden campaign personnel in leaks to the press for months and months before the hot swap unfolded. For literally about 3+ years, you had folks around President Biden who were leaking against, undermining, characterizing Kamala Harris as a disastrous, underprepared.
How do you know this?
Because of extensive reporting,
and
drawing on White House sources.
How come former President Trump doesn't know this? If you've known for 3 years this woman was coming, and now she's here, and you're confused about what to do.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sufficiently clear. What I'm saying is that what he is saying now, when he is diminishing her capacity and what have you, these were all things that were standard talking points coming from Democrats who were anxious about her weaknesses.
So
now, only over the last month or so has the narrative entirely changed.
Bro, you can't claim foul. Like, you can't just like be upset that the media is responding to the momentum that Kamala Harris has been able to put together. He's not wrong in terms of like Kamala's weaknesses. These are things that I've also personally mentioned, right? But like, there is one aspect of this that these guys are just like very upset about, which is that people don't care. That's how much they don't mind the Democratic Party's platform, that like a generic Democrat leading the ticket is good for them. And that's how much they despise Joe Biden, okay? Because you hate black women too? Yes. That's what it is. Like, they don't care. People don't care about it. A lot of people were just like, bro, I don't want Biden. He's so fucking old. People vote on vibes, okay? People vote on vibes. And the vibes were atrocious with Brandon. Bro said that was a joke so fast you got them boys terrified. Yeah, good, because I hear that all the time. And I never want anybody to do that. There's the new Hasan Twitter complaint today. Yeah, unrelated, but do you know the story of Nicole McCabe, random Aussie who lived in Israel? Mossad stole her passport to use the cover ID for a spy. Then she was wanted for an assassination in Dubai as a result and had to get a new identity because Mossad was like, okay, whatever, deal with it. I did not know that, but that's not even remotely shocking. I thought you said Murad stole the password. No, Murad would never do that. His vibes are great. What are you talking about? Brandon's vibes? Brandon's vibes are not great, okay? Brandon's vibes were not great at all. All right, let's continue.
About this because the press no longer felt obliged to protect President Biden.
Are you suggesting then this is originating because Donald Trump is following the intel of Democrats, and this is based solely upon the intel of Democrats and not some long-standing representation of how he feels about American people since the 1970s?
Okay, I think what he's suggesting is that this is not just off of what Democrats have said, but Democrats have also said some of the same things Trump has said. And so him saying these things is not something new that no one's ever said before, that she's incompetent.
He wasn't that bad, dude. Listen, brother, I get it, okay? I get it. You desperately want to get back to two-parters at the top of the hour to serve a 3-minute ad break. But Biden was so bad that the $5 a month subscription fee under the Brandon regime turned into $6 a month, okay? That's how bad the Brandonflation hit the economy, including Twitch, okay? No more two-parters. You can't do that. I know your ass was trying to do that two-parter, okay? 40-month subscriber. You think you can sneak that in there, dude? Come on, you know better. Take an hour off, okay? I'm not even letting you go, oh, I wasn't trying to do a two-parter. I'm just giving you an hour off. No more two-parters, okay? Yesterday, I got absolutely cooked multiple times. Danny Pergrammy, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, okay? I got cooked yesterday multiple times. You can do it. I believe in you. You gave me a whole ass day, the injustice. I felt bad because he, you know, I pre-watched the two-parter and I didn't even let him do the two-parter. That's why I only gave him an hour off. El Ego? It's not. You've been slipping lately? No, you catch me slipping when I'm feeling good. Like, I'm going to get got. Okay. But that two-parters are I want you to be better. I just want you to be better. That's what it is. I want the base to get better. Danny Programming, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Just 3-minute ad break now, by the way.
And you can point to the policies. You can look at so many policies throughout this administration that she has to own that will hurt her in swing states.
The idea, just to be clear, I mean, I understand that maybe there were some Democrats privately who were nervous about Harris, but I don't know that you have Democrats calling her phony, incompetent, third-rate candidate.
That's what I was about to say.
That is well
I must have missed where Democrats called her a bum. I must have missed where they questioned her ethnicity. I must have missed when Democrats called her low IQ and stupid.
Yeah, they didn't do any of that. But the Democrats were obviously worried about Kamala Harris's weaknesses. As a matter of fact, I would say that is the reason why Joe Biden chose her. Shrimps for Bernie, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. That's part of the reason why Joe Biden picked her as the VP, because he did not want a VP that could like outshine him. Okay. But having said that, currently the momentum behind Kamala Harris is very real. And of course the media is going to cover it because it's happening. It's a real thing that's happening. Of course the media is going to fucking talk about this unique, historic change up in a fucking ticket 80 days out of a goddamn election, and what the consequences have been, both positive and negative, mostly positive for the Democrats. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, it's no fair. Why don't you talk about Kamala Harris's weaknesses? Like, what do you mean? That's not the story. That could become the story if she fails. Like I said, this momentum is very real, and you can either lean into it and keep putting out daggers. Okay. DNC is a big, the DNC is going to be a big deal to continue this momentum. Okay. Or you just, you fuck it up. You fuck it up big time, and you do the old school Democratic Party instincts, and you don't lean on like a Waltzian momentum with progressive policies, showing America that these progressive policies are not radical at all, that these guys are fucking weirdo losers who keep complaining about like actually good, solid progressive policies. And that's it. New Florida poll. Trump, Republican, 52, Harris at 44, Kennedy at 3. That's actually kind of surprising that RFK only has 3% in Florida. I would have expected him to have much higher in Florida. I would have thought that would be his state, Like, it's kind of shocking. So, but having said that, let's continue.
And all of the litany of awful insults that Donald Trump has levied against Kamala Harris since she's been in the race.
But did you miss when she couldn't even get a couple percentage points in 2020 to make it to the first primary?
This isn't the first time Donald
Trump
wasn't
wildly popular.
It doesn't matter. She's the vice president of the United States, and she's beating Donald Trump right now. So, but what also we are
all
not,
that matters is what happens on November 5th.
Is that Donald Trump's history?
Oh, so polls don't matter any longer. This is the. Everybody does this copium. It's mind-numbing to me, okay? The Trump team was literally posterizing all the polls when they were cooking Biden. But the moment that this switch-up happens and the polls reflect that reality and the momentum shifts in the other direction, they're like, oh, polls don't matter. And it's the same as like the Biden dead-enders in the liberal media space that kept saying polls don't matter. Polls don't matter. That Biden is losing. Polls don't matter. It's so funny. It's just like, bro, look at the polls. Look at why people are responding in the way that they're responding. Sometimes it is going to be a genuine crisis that you can't actually message out of. Okay. For Donald Trump, a person with maxed out name recognition, it is a little bit of a genuine crisis because like, it's hard for him to squeeze out new demographics. Like, what is he going to do? Go after, what's he going to do? Go after young people? Like, is he going to be able to convince young people to go out and vote for him? Like people that don't remember what it was like to be a full-grown adult under his administration, under his rule. It's just like, there's no pivot point for Trump. It's very difficult for him. And he's also flailing.
The history of insulting women is very long. As a matter of fact,
and her history of failing is long as well when it comes to these policies that
how
matter.
Many times when he was at the bully pulpit, he insulted women journalists repeatedly, including you, Abby, who he also called stupid, which you're not. You went to Harvard, and you are far from that. And this is what Donald Trump does. He doesn't like to be held accountable. So because he is now in a position where he now is being held accountable for what he said, we know already that he has a history of being a sexist, and now he cannot
This is base management.
With the fact.
These are not the arguments that are actually effective for Kamala Harris.
Oh,
if you look at the recent,
for example,
Reid Hoffman's group Blueprint has
he's not wrong. talking about like Donald Trump being misogynistic or whatever, that doesn't matter. It hardens his support and his base who are looking for that and find that to be good. There's a difference between like just consistently saying Trump is like a misogynist. Everybody knows that. People have already literally made up their minds on this. This is why I always say, don't ever bring that up. Just don't. Just everybody knows it. Nobody gives a shit. Okay. People already made that point over and over again. Talk about abortion instead. Talk about how Trump's weirdo behavior and Trump's misogyny actually ends up harming women directly. Okay. Talk about how it has already harmed women because people know he's a misogynist. Okay. They know he won the white women vote by 52% twice. Okay. Twice. He won the white women vote again. So if you want to eat away at that base of support, you just don't bring up the misogyny. Like everybody knows it. Okay. Everybody knows that. Just simply talk about the policies and simply talk about how all of those things are already harming people. I wrote about this a while back. I was like, a couple days ago, where I was like, listen, Democrats, if they want to win, they got to keep talking about what they're going to do for people and what they have done for people so far, and maybe what the Republicans have done to the population. Okay. If Democrats want to lose, they talk about how like sexist and misogynistic Donald Trump is. And they talk about the identity of the candidate without tying it back to like the actual policy positions. The underlying misogyny is always going to be there. Most people are misogynistic themselves. We live in a patriarchal structure. A lot of women also have a tendency to have internalized misogyny. This is not a good argument. Okay. The better argument in this situation is to be like, he's weird, he's gross, he's a loser, but also, of course, he's saying this kind of shit. After all, look at what his administration did to women's reproductive rights. Okay. That did not work for Hillary Clinton at all. And as a matter of fact, Joe Biden didn't do that because he was an old white guy. Okay. That was one of the most like refreshing aspects, in my opinion, in terms of winning an election that the Democrats did with the Biden camp. They didn't do any of that. They were forced to run on issues in a little bit, in some respects, because they didn't have the identity picks that they could like point to. Okay. Biden still tried to be like, oh yeah, I hired Kamala because she's a black woman, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. Even in that situation, he literally still was like being a old white guy. Okay. People don't care. I don't think, and I'm serious about this, I don't think a single person in the United States of America genuinely turns around and goes, yeah, Donald Trump is a misogynist. And like anyone in the margins, because there are people who obviously are like, yeah, Donald Trump's a misogynist, he's whatever. But I don't think there's a single person in the margins who's like, I don't know who to vote for in this race that's going to turn around and be like, ooh, Donald Trump is a misogynist. I guess he's lost my vote then. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, nobody likes it. Nobody likes this argument. Okay.
Described.
Please, dear God, have a woman on the stream to talk about this. Absolutely not. Plenty of women do. I don't give a, okay. I don't care. It doesn't matter what you or other women think. What matters is the empirical evidence. What matters is the data. It demonstrably was a failure. Everyone knew he was a misogynist. Shut the f up. Okay. Shut up. He literally said he's going to grab women by the pussy. That shit didn't move the needle enough. You know what does move the needle? Abortion restrictions. Obviously, those two things are tied to one another. So bring that to the forefront of the conversation. Okay? 52% of white women voted for Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton in 2016. 55% of white women voted for Donald Trump over Joe Biden in 2020. Shut the f up. Everybody knows he's a misogynist. Holy shit. Like, who the fuck do you think is going around being like, Donald Trump is a misogynist? Oh my God. This is dramatically changing my calculation. If you're already fucking voting, if you already voted for Hillary Clinton, if you already voted for Joe Biden, then you already have made up your mind about Donald Trump's misogyny, okay? Among a litany of other issues. Don't just let that hang on its own. Reiterate the position that it's not just Donald Trump's misogyny, it's how that actually ends up harming people, okay? His personal point of view and his worldview in general, okay, is what harms women. How it affects people, how it hurts women That's what matters, okay?
What is effective for Kamala Harris? What is effective for her is taking positions that are the positions.
He isn't harming women, what? Yeah, dude, totally. Every time like a 14-year-old rape victim can't get a fucking abortion in a red state, that's actually not harming women at all. That's actually really positive for women, okay? Super sick.
That would be endorsed by Joe Manchin and by Bernie Sanders, being perfectly down the line. I will protect Social Security and Medicare. It is not actually.
How is bringing up his misogyny a negative thing? Okay, people don't care, as you say. How the fuck bringing it up hurts the Harris campaign? I don't think you should ever fucking just leave Donald Trump hanging on he's a misogynist, okay? It is so stupid. It's just a waste of airspace, okay? That's it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It's just a waste of airspace. If you want to fucking actually, if you want to actually make a coherent argument that is going to appeal to those in the fucking margins, then stop just talking about his misogyny. Bring forward the major way in which Donald Trump's misogyny harms women in red states that are now going to more likely vote for the Democrat over the Republican, okay? Because you might not personally recognize this for some weird fucking reason, and you're only thinking about people that have already made up their minds in your circle, in your orbit, okay? But a lot of people need that additional framing because they themselves are misogynistic. This has been an ongoing, consistent narrative that has been a demonstrable fucking failure, okay? It just has not, it has not worked. It doesn't work. White women are the largest women voting bloc. White people are the largest voter bloc in this country. It's still 66% of the country. White women are voting in massive numbers. When you got 55% of white women voting for the misogynist, because obviously everyone keeps going, oh my God, he's a misogynist. Oh my God, he's a misogynist. He clearly is not working. But you know what is working? Okay, abortion. Consistently pointing out the fact that women with ectopic pregnancies can't go out and get this fucking procedure done, get an abortion. That Donald Trump's misogyny alone is one thing, okay? But Donald Trump's misogyny harming women in red states is an entirely different conversation. All of a sudden, it becomes real for you, okay?
Attacking Trump. What you guys are doing right now is, helpful base management right now, but it actually isn't something that moves the needle. What you see is actually this kind of base management doesn't actually have much of a...
Why does pointing out his misogyny not work, but pointing out his blatant racism does? You say women can be internally misogynistic, but it's obvious that people can also be internally racist because there's levels to it. One, I think that misogyny, like patriarchal attitudes, is a higher order. There's like permissible misogyny that is running rampant throughout American society in general. Part of that is because 50% of the population is women, whereas 50% of the population isn't black or Latino. Okay, so it's a 50-50 split. So it is like way more pervasive and therefore way more permissible to just be like, regular misogynistic. Whereas when you go above a certain point of racism, it tends to gross people out. Just like when you go above a certain point of misogyny, it grosses people out. Like the difference between Donald Trump saying a litany of different things like Kamala Harris is a pretty woman, like that doesn't hit that fucking marker. But JD Vance talking about women having to breed does, right? You've all of a sudden cast aside like the normal existing misogyny that every normal person could potentially experience or feel on a daily fucking basis. And you've now cast aside dog whistles. You are just completely daggering. You're lasering in on the main point of contention. So like 50% misogyny may be acceptable, but 80% isn't. But 50% racism isn't acceptable. So it's the same 50% of acceptable misogyny, but not acceptable for racism. There's a difference of like how far you can go with your racist sentiment before people go, oh, that's gross, versus how far you can go with your misogynistic sentiment before people go, oh, that's gross. This stupid idea, this stupid nonsensical idea that women themselves can't be misogynistic is the reason this country makes no progress in actually improving the lives of women. Just because someone is a woman doesn't mean they're not going to harm other women. Nancy Reagan literally hurt this country as a first lady. Yeah.
Material effect. Anti-Trump arguments are actually so played out, so tired.
It's an interesting point that Reinhardt is making about base management on the left, but really it seems also that Trump is doing some base management on the right, and there are people in conservative circles who think that the constant attacking of Harris is not working, and this is what they're trying to tell him at this point now publicly.
Stop questioning the size of her crowds and start questioning her position when it comes to what did she do as Attorney General on crime.
When Trump attacks Harris personally rather than on policy, Harris's support among swing voters rises, particularly among women.
Not a good idea if you want to attract suburban women who can make or break your campaign.
Yeah, Trump calling her a bitch, by the way, which I don't think he'll ever do in public, like on the record, that goes beyond permissible misogyny, okay? That will probably piss off people. That would be like, that would go beyond like the normal order of misogynistic shit that you say. It's just like, it's too mask off. It grosses people out.
I mean, Madison, that's pretty, these are people who otherwise would be giving Trump advice. They think that he is on the wrong track here.
Well, and I talked about this on your show on Friday about the fact that many Republicans across the country are concerned about the missed opportunities that we continue to see, not just from President Trump, but from other Republicans that are out there on the stump for the president and for some of the down ballot races as well, that they just simply aren't talking about these policies that are going to swing voters in states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia. We need to be hearing more about those policies. Like I mentioned, some of the policies that people don't feel the vice president is strong on. These are the things that I don't think we hear enough about. That's what can swing these voters.
Well, I can tell you that the evidence that we've seen already in the polling in swing counties like outside of Philadelphia, Bucks County, Delaware County, Chester counties, you see that there are moderate women there who are not comfortable, Republican right-of-center women who are not comfortable with Donald Trump, not comfortable with the attacks against women, not comfortable with the extremist agenda in Project 2025 on issues on women's reproductive health and IVF.
He did not call her that. You got duped by the golf clip. No, he did not call her a fucking bitch, dude. Come on. Oh my God, this clip. Stop. You don't have to do blue and on shit, okay? There are reports of him doing it behind closed doors. I believe it. But the golf cart clip is not the clip that you think it is, okay?
And no-fault divorce and voting rights, all of these things, these attacks on women that are really extreme, they're not comfortable with that. And we're seeing that, and we just saw it today in the New York Times Siena poll, that these places are shifting. Women in these places, in these suburban counties that Donald Trump needs to win, they are not comfortable with that.
He very clearly just said, bad, they got to stop playing that clip. It's Hill Dog territory. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't think the media has picked that up. It's just like a couple fucking libs libbing up on the Kamala momentum.